Okay, this is just going to be a part two to that my last upload about how some people need to create their own channels. You know, just start pressing record. Like I said, I talk the way I talk. I sound passionate. One thing, I'm from Alabama, even though I've lived in Cleveland for 4 years and I've been in California for 10, Los Angeles, I'm still have this loud voice because the Alabama's not going nowhere. But, excuse me, sorry. But what I want to say is, though, so I do, because I'm an empath, I can definitely get where this lady's comment is coming from. Now, it was a comment under my video on treacherous black women getting their judgment. Now, the reason I titled it that, because a lot of women come to my channel and they're so disturbed about what they see some of these black women do to their girls. And I'm talking about the hate. I'm not talking about the difficulties in raising children. I'm talking about the real hatred that some women do have for their daughters. Okay, we realize there's good, mothers out there, but I titled that because some women are very concerned about the hatred. And I'm gonna say this though, because see, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is what black men do too. The good black mothers just might be in the minority. I'm just gonna have to say that the good black mothers might be a minority. The reason why people are not just wanting to focus on the negative like that. Just like black men, the few black men who really do stick around and take care of their children, they feel like they're being overlooked too. And they feel like too many people are talking about the ones that are absent. So this is a problem in the black community. I was looking at, I don't know if anybody has heard of B Loves Life. But like I say, sometimes I like to look at mukbang channels. I don't just I talk about certain things, but I like to look at different types. And I like mukbang because sometimes I like food and I like to be happy. And looking at people eat, crab legs make me happy, But no, let me talk about so I was looking at B Love's Life today, and she had this person she was interviewing this person from Nicole TV. Her name is Kayla Nicole, I guess. This is my first time hearing of her. I think she's a teenage girl, black girl. And she was talking about, B Love's Life asked her if she would want a boy or a girl if she had children. And this girl, Kayla, said that she would like to have a girl. And she said because in the black community, the relationship between the black mother and the black daughter just seems to be so toxic that she wants to make it right. So, see, that's what I'm saying. So I get that this person that commented is probably one of the mothers that are really good, that really care about their daughters and really, really try to undo because the spiritual work you're talking about you're doing, I know it's generational curses. And you say you see your fathers in them. It's a lady that I heard that she has this, her daughters are kind of patriarchal like that too. And her father, the daughter's father's ways were in these daughters. So a lot of these daughters are more patriarchal they more on the man's side than they are on the woman's side. That is an issue of that's a generational curse right there. And when I say curse, I don't mean to sound, would you say, I don't mean to sound all spooky when I say that. That's a generational curse problem. The reason why, I'm dropping stuff. The reason why I say that, because when you get in a community where other girls are used to being put first and they're used to the women being put on the pedestal, in those kind of communities, you won't see this patriarchal type of stuff in their daughters. So there's a problem with how black women learn from the time they are girls to put this black man first. These black girls learn from when they're little children to put this black man first before the woman. That's a problem. But like I said, I've heard this story before. I know about this. I don't know about it from personal experience. That's why I say that's an insult to me. If this is not a personal experience I have of raising, no matter how many times I've heard people tell this story, if that's not a personal experience I have of raising daughters and having to do spiritual work to stop whatever's going on spiritually with these girls, if that's not my personal experience, to me it's an insult to continually get on to record myself acting as if I know what I'm talking about. To me, that's an insult, and I can't stand it when other people do that. Okay, I can't stand it when other people do that. So, but anyway, I don't want to go on too long. I just want to say that that I do have I'll be honest with you, I am empathetic towards it. So my last audio was not to yell at this lady, but at the same time, I can't get wrapped up in that. I can't get wrapped up in that. When I talk about these girls getting molested, you know what? That's spiritual molestation. That is already done to ruin her, to keep her from reaching her higher source, her higher self. That's already done. So she messed up. If you have a daughter that's molested repeatedly from the time she's 5, she already ruined. You already got a ton of work on your hands, more than some of these other girls that might not have gone through that. Okay, but see, molestation repeatedly. If you want to talk about your girl going through that, that's something I can expound on. That's something I can talk about. But I can't talk about how to raise a child. I can't talk about that because that's not my experience, and it really ticks me off when I hear other people talk about something they don't know what the heck they talking about, and I know they don't know what they're talking about, and it really ticks me off when I hear other people do that. That's why I won't do it. Anyway, I don't have anything else to say, but I have heard other women say that, though, especially when it comes to black girls. Any girl, too. Now, I will say this. I don't know if you're a practitioner yourself, but, some of these mothers, you know what else I've heard? Because I know some women who are practitioners. You know what I mean by practitioners? If you say you're doing spiritual work, then you know what I mean by practitioners, right? So, what these practitioners have said, and I've heard this, if you ever look at Mother Wisdom, and you look at other women who are practitioners, the ones who decide to talk on YouTube. I've listened to women off of YouTube who have been practitioners, and do you know what they say? Do you know what they unanimously say? A lot of these black mothers, when they come to them to get spiritual work, most of these black mothers focus on themselves and don't even care about their children. So what I'm saying is that I get your passion, but unfortunately, you just might be a minority. You just might be a minority. And that's probably why you don't hear a whole lot of black women talking about it, because I think what has to be understood is what it's like to be a black girl growing up in this time. I think you might want to try to understand her point of view. What is it like? I am so glad that I was not born in the 90s. I'm so glad that I was not born in the 2000s and having to be a little black girl growing up in this particular time. I am so glad, because they have no idea what it is to listen to a real band. So I would say this: if you want to talk about how hard it is, talk about what it's like to be a black girl who was born in the 90s. Think about what it's like to be a black girl born in 2000s. In this climate right now, it's horrible. And if you are raising her in a black neighborhood, having her go to public schools, I'm going to say this. You might just keep undoing all your work. Okay? So if spiritual work costs some doggone money, I know what spiritual work costs. That's thousands of dollars. And it would be crazy. I really hope you're homeschooling these girls or sending them somewhere else that's, because I wouldn't be the person that is spending all this money on having spiritual work to undo whatever's been done to whatever you're trying to get off these girls, and then send them back into the black communities, to public schools where they have all this ignorance. Because it's almost like you're working against yourself. You're going like up a hill. You're working up a hill. So that's all I got to say. But like I say, I don't know your story, but I'm not no expert in what you have to go through. But if she's a person who might have been molested as a little girl and stuff like that, yeah, I can tell you why if she might be a certain way as a result of some repeated molestations. I can talk to you about that, and I think black girls need more support. If that's something that happened to her, if she was raped, and you talk about how hard it is to raise her, and she might have been somebody who was raped, I think you as a mother might want to understand what it's like to repeatedly be molested or raped over and over and over again, and nobody cares. And you can probably see why black girls who go through that and they feel like nobody cares about them, they're worse because they feel like nobody cares. So I think, now I don't know if your black daughter's been through that. If they have not been through that, thank goodness, because you're going to have it worse, you know. But if she has been through that, I think you might want to understand why she is the way she is, because the black community can't stand black girls. They don't. And I wish black mothers would just get these girls away from black people, especially from the United States. Just get them away from black people. But even African girls, when I listen to these African women, they have these stories too, these horror stories. I mean, they have a lot of doggone curses and hexes put on them from family members. I mean, black women, black girls all over the globe just have it horrible. But I don't speak on African women experiences. I speak on the ones in America because I grew up in America, so I can talk more about it. If I talk about African women, it'll just be from a story that another African woman gave me. It's not going to be from something I really know. So I don't speak on them a whole lot. It's just not for me to speak on. But anyway, that'll be it, and I'll talk to you soon.